Kam Williams explodes from deep, hitting 8 threes for the Cats in a ugly win over the Bellarmine Knights.
The Big Blue Breakdown, from kickoff to tip-off.
Welcome in, everybody, to episode 107 here on the Big Blue Breakdown. I appreciate you guys tuning in here and listening to this one. If you guys are on YouTube here watching live, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment and share. It's the best way to help with the channel. Also do the same thing on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts. Make sure to follow, comment, and like there as well. Best way to help out this show grow. Also, you can check us out on social media, on TikTok, X, and Instagram. You're missing extra content if you don't do that. The @ is BigBlue_BDown. So the Cats get a win to say the very least, 99-85 over Bellarmine in a very, very ugly game from start to finish. Now they do kind of have a second half surge led by Kam Williams with his 8 3-pointers, and we're going to dive into that. Before we jump in today's episode, I want to give a quick shout out to our sponsor, W Energy. If you're looking for clean energy with no sugar and no crash, W is the way to go. It helps me stay locked in for games, late nights, and all these breakdowns. If you want to try it out, make sure to use my code BIGBLUE10 at checkout for 10% off. Yes, that's BIGBLUE10 for 10% off. I appreciate you guys tuning in here to this one as we start this breakdown here. So the Cats get a 14-point win over the Bellarmine Knights. Definitely an ugly one, to say the least. 99-85. The Cats improved to 9-4 now on the year, and they end the regular season 9-4. So it definitely had the lows were really, really low for the Cats, and the last couple of games were pretty high. So that was good too. It was a good way to end this non-conference slate. But in this one, let's just go ahead and jump into the box score here. I mean, Kentucky offensively, I think, was fine. This is definitely, I believe, their best three-point shooting day or night, whatever you call it. It's a 1 o'clock game. That's just really, really weird to have. But the Cats end up making 53% of their threes in this one, where they make, I believe it is. I'm trying to find how many threes they made in this one, if I can here. Here we go. They made in total. Did I say 17 threes? No, excuse me. 16 threes, I believe. 16 3-point shots made in this win over Bellarmine. That is absolutely insane. They shot 33s, I believe 16 of 30 in this one, 55%. And no, this is not a good Bellarmine team. If you actually look at KenPom, you will see that they have one of the worst defenses in the country. They right now are sitting at, trying to pull us up here, they're sitting at 245th overall with the 344th ranked defense, adjusted rated defense. So this team is not a good defensive team at all, but the Cats were still able to make shots, and you kind of build this confidence before going into conference play and end up playing Alabama. So this was definitely a step in the right direction for the Cats, and even though it is against a bad Bellarmine team that kept it close, like this Bellarmine team, man, did they play well. I don't know if that was really us or them, but I mean, they ended up playing well no matter what. They covered the 34.5-point spread in this one by a lot. And what about Krasinski? That dude is an absolute baller. He ended up having 24, 4, and 2 in this one. Hit 3 out of his 5 3-point shots, 6 of 9 from the field, and 9 of 10 from the free throw line. That dude is an absolute baller. He played 30 minutes today, and man, was he really, really good for them. Another guy that had, there's multiple guys that had really, really had good days today for Kentucky. Mo Diabate with 20 points, 5 rebounds, 9 for 11 from the field, 2 of 4 from the charity strike. He had 2 steals and 2 blocks as well. Very, very good day from Mo Diabate. Same thing with Denzel Aberdeen. Kind of quietly had a really, really good shooting day. 4 of 7 from three-point land, 5 of 8 from the field, 14 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists. And then Owe with a triple-double, ends up getting a double-double, 10 points, 10 assists, 8 rebounds, 2 of 7 from the field, 0 of 2 from 3, 6 of 8 from the charity strike. He also ended up with 2 steals as well. And then you go to the man of the game. Moving on to Kam Williams here. 26 points. 26 points. 1 rebound. He went 8 of 10 from the field. 2 of 2 from the charity strike. All of his points came from 3, except for from the field, excuse me. All of his points from the field came from the 3-point line. He ended up going 8 of 10. 8 of 10 from three-point line. Man, what a day for Kam Williams. And I want to stop and talk about him here for a little bit. What does he do for this Kentucky team? What does he do? Well, Kentucky has simply been missing their three-point shot, and we've seen a little bit of what he could do in that St. John's game. And that was partly created by Jalen Lowe and his ability to get up the court and get him open with a couple passes. But man, if you can get 3 threes out of him a night, 2 to 3 threes out of him a night, that is going to be very, very big moving forward, because you can't keep him off the floor. I mean, he has been struggling coming into this game, and he is an elite defender. He's an elite rebounder. He's 6'8". His shot is not going to be blocked. This dude can 1,000% play, even if he's not making shots, because he makes such a good impact. I believe he does have one of the best plus minuses on this team. But man, he ended up exploding today. We saw remnants of what he could be last game. 26 points for Kam Williams. 8 of 10. He made 8 3-point shots by himself today. 8 of 10 from three-point land. I know this Bellarmine team is not a good defensive team at all. 344th in KenPom in adjusted defensive rating. But man, what a day for Kam. Now, I do want to get into the bad here. The bad. The lackluster defense throughout. And I know I want to give credit to Bellarmine and how they played, but it's inexcusable. It is for sure. But I don't want to make an excuse, but it is right before Christmas break. This is like that trap game, quote unquote, some might say, heading into the break. So with that being said, that is inexcusable in how it was played out. But the Cats end up surging in the second half to get a win. I mean, Colin Chandler still is cold right now, which sucks. Moreno was okay today. Again, Owe had a good game. Kam had an amazing game. Modi had a good game. Another guy that had a really, really good game is not Jaden Quaid. We'll get to him in just a little bit. Jasper Johnson, 11 points, 3 rebounds, 7 assists, 4 of 8 from the field, 3 of 5 from beyond the arc. That was a big, big number right there. He can knock down some open threes, because what it seemed like we were trying to do with Jasper was put him into this role of being the quote unquote backup point guard, and maybe he can find his way in that and get some reps. But he's definitely better off ball, and if he's able to create his own shot like this and knock it down consistently, I really, really like it for Jasper Johnson. Really good day from him. Andre Yelovich finally got some action. Trent Noah is cold. And then Brandon Garrison kind of went out with a knee injury where he was on the bike and he had ice on his knee, went back to the bench. It seemed like he might have bumped knees with somebody. I don't know, but I don't think it's that serious or that something that we should be really, really worried about right now. And then Quaintance didn't have a really great game. He definitely had limited action today. He only had 8 minutes in total. 4 points, 2 rebounds, 1 of 2 from the field, 2 of 4 from the charity strike, and He also had 2 turnovers. So limited action here, and then we're gonna jump into no Jalen Lowe. No Jalen Lowe in this game. I think it's just for precautionary reasons. This guy needs a break. Apparently he was a little sore with his shoulder, and I completely get him not playing at all in this one. I mean, with Alabama coming up in the first game of the conference schedule, you don't want to risk it in a game that you know you can win without him. You're a 30.5 point favorite in this one. I know we ended up winning by 14, but what I'm saying is you didn't need to risk him going out there and getting hurt when you're probably going to win without him, with or without him, no matter what. So I completely get that call. Rest him up. Let the shoulder, I guess, get a little healthier, but you just don't want to risk it in a game like this and it popping out of place. Not really much else to talk about. Obviously, they get this break here, then they will play Alabama in the first conference game of the year in the SEC, and that'll be very, very interesting to see how that one ends up playing out. It really will be. Alabama is a undersized team, but this team loves to get up and down the floor, one of the best offensive teams in the country, and then we're playing at Alabama. I believe Lowe will be fine for that one, and we might see the second time this season with a fully healthy team, but I completely get Lowe being sat out in this one. But before we continue along on today's episode, Big Blue Breakdown, excuse me. I want to shout out Bluegrass Elite, your go-to brand for Kentucky apparel. If you want high-quality gear that really represents Big Blue Nation, whether it's for game day, campus, or everyday wear, Bluegrass Elite has you covered. Make sure you check them out and use my code BBB15 for 15% off at checkout. That's BBB15 for 15% off at checkout. So to wrap up the show here, we're going to look at a little KenPom numbers here, see where Kentucky ranks currently in the rankings. I believe going into this one, or at least after the St. John's game, we ranked at 18th in the country, and now we rank at 19th. So we took a step back here. I don't know if that's because of this game, but now Kentucky has the 28th offense, 25th defense, 160th adjusted tempo. One thing I want to note about the adjusted tempo, it's not necessarily just our offense. It is about how far teams offensively are getting into the shot clock on the offensive end against us. So that factors into our tempo. So that is a good thing to note here, that we are fighting teams to have a full shot clock, and they're going to basically defend very, very well for most of the shot clock. I know you didn't defend really well tonight, but you see back to the St. John's, Indiana game where these teams are getting late into the shot clock, maybe have to take a bad shot or something. And some of these shots, man, they just it's what happens when a team like this comes into Kentucky. Just throw up something and make anything. So that was that. But Kentucky ends up getting the win over the Bellarmine Knights as they finish conference play 9-4, heading into a big one against Alabama after the break. And then after that, they got a couple really, really winnable games. I'm not saying Alabama's not winnable. I'm just saying they'll be favored in the next couple games after that. I appreciate you guys tuning in to this episode 107 of the Big Blue Breakdown. And I will catch you guys very soon. Probably talking maybe some predictions for the SEC. We'll see if we can get somebody on for that. But I appreciate you guys tuning in here to episode 107. And as always, go Cats.